I wanted to share with you some of what we've been hearing from healthcare organizations in the last couple months. When we go out and we talk to management at healthcare and some clinicians at healthcare, what are they saying? And these are all pretty interesting. This one was from the CEO of a regional healthcare network. He said, a data warehouse, we already have a clinical repository. Why do I need a data warehouse? Right? And the issue there was that his team of people hadn't actually successfully talked about and made the pitch for a purpose-built analytic repository. And so he heard the word data warehouse and he thought, a bunch of data on a platform, we've got that. We're hearing that as well with big data. Wow, you know what? We've got we've got over a terabyte of patient and encounter data. We got big data already, right? So it's interesting how, in a lot of ways, we have to undo some paradigms of the people that we're making the pitch to. Here's another quote, the CEO of Blue Shield of California. We've got complex organizations with multiple products in different geographies, and we have to meet federal regulations. And you want to know why I'm retiring? This is hard work. So we have to bring all this together, again, not just from a system standpoint, but from a skills and a processes standpoint. We're seeing a lot of organizational changes in healthcare companies right now so that they can mobilize to quickly respond to some of these forces. This one was from an administrator at an HMO, at a big HMO. She said, I'm just hoping if we wait long enough, our clinical system vendor will solve the problem for us. And, part of that is the fault of the clinical systems vendors, right? Well, we do that. We're a dessert topping and a floor wax, right? We not only do EHRs, but we can be your data warehouse as well, right? So we're doing everything, which in a lot of cases means we're doing nothing. One of the things that we've learned in other industries and that we're learning in healthcare is let your systems do what they were originally designed to do. Don't kludge them up just because the vendor realizes that they have disk storage and they could use it for other kinds of data. Let systems do what they were designed to do. And then my favorite quote, this one's a great one. This was actually a clinician who told us, I keep my own access database to protect it from other people's access databases. We were actually doing an assessment at a provider, and all the doctors had their own databases. Why do you do that? And this guy was in the NICU, and he didn't want to mess with external data. And when you say external data to him, he sees external data as anybody else's data but his. And so that's culture, right? That's a culture change where we actually have to show him the value proposition of data sharing. How we can enrich his data and thus enrich his quality of care. But that data has to be trustworthy, and moreover, the processes through which we provision data to that doctor have to be trustworthy. It's not necessarily that I don't trust the data, even though in every one of our companies, data has a reputation. Sometimes that's good news, sometimes that's bad news, right? But it's not just that we have to trust the data, we have to trust that the processes in place are rigorous enough to provision the data at the right time in the right way. And that's data governance, by the way. Data governance is the business-driven policy making and oversight of corporate information. We need policies around our data to make it trustworthy. And by the way, the extent to which we share our data, and this is going to become more and more of an issue as we go, right? The extent to which we share our data is the extent to which we need to govern it. Patient data is not exclusive to one organization. And so we need to govern it. And I know none of you has the problem of data hoarding in your organizations, right? Nobody hoards data, everybody shares it freely, right? No, I know. Don't cry. I know. So we have to fix that. And the time is now, as IDC-10, as meaningful use, as accountable care organization pressures come to bear because they're all extremely data intensive. And another administrator said, in many ways, I think 2013 will be more about getting projects done and less about managing the disruption of change. Executives are getting tired of hearing about, culture change and the market forces, and, they want to get stuff done. And so there's a renewed emphasis on tactics. The good news is that the renewed emphasis on tactics often means some organizational changes with teeth. The bad news is, in certain cultures, what it means is new packaged applications. Healthcare organizations are renowned for just, solving a problem with, installing another packaged application, right? And not necessarily integrating it with other applications, thereby installing yet another legacy system. Sorry to say. But there's a way to do that right.